Hey YouTube, it's Soul Prime 13 again, and today we're going to be doing another one of my comparison videos. I've decided to call these the the then versus now. So this is going to be our plastic Kid Appeal character. This is going to be the '07 movie Bumblebee. Here we have the original souped up Camaro. And here we have the Studio Series, which this one was actually reissued at Target recently. So that's why I'm able to do this one. But, you know, obviously there is some major changes over the years, and Bumblebee got more than his fair share of figures. He's probably, the movie Bumblebee is probably one of my least favorite versions of Bumblebee. I don't dislike Bumblebee overall, but I do... the movie Bumblebee was not my favorite. I get lots of people love him. You know, a lot of people think he was, you know, really cool, and you know, he has a sick sports car mode. I really wish they had given him actual like voice lines and stuff after the first one. You know, having him say like a couple real lines here and there throughout the whole series was kind of weird to me. But overall, these toys have had quite an evolution. This one, like I said, is from the original '07 movie, and you can see his head is incredibly loose. It is, it's on a ball joint, but the connection is definitely, I think it was pretty loose when I first got it, but yeah, see, just that was enough to make it pop off. It has only gotten more loose with time. Yeah, he had the, what was it, the auto morph or whatever gimmick in his legs, where when you do it, yeah, you can sort of see how it just sort of shifts everything on some gears. Not a bad figure. He's got his cannon here, which opens up into an energy blade, which he didn't actually use in the movie. But, you know, it was, there were more prevalent gimmicks back then. But overall, I still think it's a decent looking toy, and it does sort of blend in on the shelf now with how many Bumblebee movie figures I have. But here we have the Studio Series of the '07 movie, and yeah, he has a similar blaster, but this one actually like plugs into his hand. I do kind of wish it was in a gray plastic, because it not only would it match better with the hand and arm, but the gun he actually uses is kind of like gray and with like I think some copper and stuff in it, and you know, the glowy parts, but obviously they're not gonna go and do that. I mean, they could have painted the inside, but it's whatever. I don't care that much about the glowy barrel. I will say that my biggest issue with this figure is that these feet don't lock in terribly well. They technically do, because there is ever so slightly little itty bitty tab right here, and an even more itty bitty slot right here. So like it won't necessarily, you know, fall during shaking, but you know, if you even tap it, it's, you know, it's loose. But I really do like on this figure how they were able to get the chest more properly angled. That was definitely a thing that was lacking on this. I mean, they made it so these shift up to give it a more broken up look to try and imitate the movie. But yeah, obviously, you know, this is a difference of what, I think like 15 years at least. So, you know, there's a lot of difference there. But I do want to bring in a couple other Bumblebee figures. I'm not entirely sure which all are which. I know this one is from Dark of the Moon because he has the spoiler. And this is when they had I think it was the, I forget what it's called, but they had the transforming weapons. So there was that, and yeah, it just kind of pegs into the back of his arm. But, you know, that's a cool little thing they did, and he is a little bit bulkier, but there is that. I want to say this one is from the second movie. I want to say it's Hunt for the Decepticons. I don't really remember. The biggest note about this one is the flip out guns. You can have them in or out. But yeah, overall, forgot about that. This one, the colors aren't as great, but they're there. And then there is the biggest of the movie Bumblebees that I own, the Human Alliance. Let's get his chest all sorted out. And I am pretty sure this one was Revenge of the Fallen time period. He does look pretty solid, and this is when they were trying to pack in some more features into the bigger figures. He does have a missile. I keep all my missiles in a baggie in a storage bin, so that's why he's not using it at the moment. But yeah, he's got the seats, and he came with a little Sam Witwicky, which I don't know if I have anymore. Yeah, I might. I don't remember. He does come with the flip-down battle mask. I think he was one of the first figures to actually include the flip-down battle mask, because I know some of them, like the Studio Series, it's just molded as the battle mask, but in his case, it actually flipped down. And then the two other mentions, I believe this is a Studio Series of the 70s Camaro, the old school Camaro. We'll call it the old school Camaro. And I do like this figure. I did honestly prefer the old school Camaro look more than the new one. I did like them both. Camaros are neat cars. I have had a chance to sit in one of the Bumblebee Camaros once when I was doing some valet work for a seasonal job a few years back, and they are nice cars, all things considered. And yeah, I get a lot of people are really into those, but yeah, I do overall prefer the old look. See, well, excuse me. This one does have it painted a couple different colors. If I remember correctly, I think you have to pop his entire arm off. I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, I guess that's part of the reason they bothered to paint the whole thing, is because it replaces his arm instead of just covering his hand. But yeah, there's that. And then we have the Bumblebee movie old school Camaro. I don't have the movie Volkswagen version, unfortunately. I would like to get one of those, but I have not been able to find one as of right now. I feel like there's probably a good chance they'll reissue that at some point, seeing as how they reissued the first movie Bumblebee. It'll probably be a few years before they do, but yeah, I do prefer the Bumblebee movie a little bit more. I do prefer like the way his feet look, and I do like that he has the stinger. But yeah, we have just a whole slew of movie Bumblebees, and yeah, so starting from the oldest to I think technically this one would be the newest one that I have, seeing as how this is a reissue. But yeah, you can see that a lot has stayed the same and a lot has changed. And I do have like an entire little section for movie Bumblebees now. But yeah, I really think that his popularity shows in just the number of figures that I, someone who is mostly indifferent to movie Bumblebee, has ended up with. Because there is only one other figure, Bumblebee figure, that I want to get besides the Volkswagen one, which is the Studio Series Dark of the Moon one, because I do kind of like that spoiler look. I know that there's some still floating around, so I probably will grab one at some point in the foreseeable future. But yeah, it's just he's the kid appeal character. He's very popular. He's reached a lot of people, and I get why people like him. I personally not that big on him, but I get where the love comes from, and especially going into the future, he is probably going to keep showing up. I mean, he was kind of a big deal in the original 80s cartoon, and he's only really regained popularity since the movies. They did, sort of replace him a little bit with Hot Shot, and I think even Hot Rod for a little while. but you know, just the you know, iconic yellow and black, the, you know, easy to remember name, and he even has a cute nickname. He's Bee. And you guys just do not want to cooperate. Come on, Bee, it's your moment. Behave like it. But yeah, like I said, this one is a reissue at Target right now, so you can get this. I imagine that it's probably possible to track these two down right now, and I know that there are a few of the Dark of the Moon Studio series floating around still. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how things go. But yeah, we can expect for years to come that Bumblebee will be here to protect our tiny human butts from the evil of the Decepticons. So yeah, that's just sort of my look at the evolution of Bumblebee over the years.